Friends, very good morning to all. Welcome you all. See, next to which are related to very legal information flow, you have to be understand systematically what are the documentary evidence, what are the ethical issues. See, life is somewhat different, but how we have to be make use the purpose of various type of resources available, and in the concept, especially in case of the data, information, wisdom, knowledge, every available flow. In order to understand, in order to understand, really you have to be come across what are all the legal, the documentary law and regulations, conventions, procedures, which are trust for making use in a systematic manner, positive way, what are all the remarks which are going to be understandable, which are very essentially required as part of the information security. Today, I'll discuss most of the information, legal authentication, legally, what are the procedures are required, and what are the ethical flow, very essentially, and also the professional issue. Professional issue in the sense, if so security, if any sort of an attack, so if any sort of an hacking, if whoever it may be the intruder stealing an flow, stealing an information, stealing a data exchange, then what are all the design aspects which are very essentially required to understand the information security. Respected students, see a life in and around a 360-degree angle, correct? No, you have to be follow certain terms and conditions. Certain terms and conditions in the sense in which our life from morning to evening, before going to bed, after bed, do everything. There should be a culture, there should be ethics, there should be myths, and these are all the professional, even though in case of professional life also. That's why one of the great person during 1962, he pointed out, he is a judiciary, given a very clear picture about in a civilized life, what are the procedures which are going to be formulate, which are going to be needy, which are in the form of a correct no explore with respect to the standard level of ethics, myths, procedures, normal procedures in our life, same as it is as like in a civilized life, professional life also very essentially required. We'll go one of the other, what are all the things we can study thoroughly, what are the future references are available, what is meant by law, and what are the differences and distinguished characteristic feature between ethics. So you have to be identify within the country what are all the conventional procedures are available, how which are related to the practical usage, highly experienced to the flow of information security, and what are the key roles and the culture which are going to be adapted to the ethical point of view in case of information security. We have to be understand most of the scope of an organization very legally and ethical responsibilities. See what will happen, we have a more property, you have a more assets, but in order to make use within a systematic manner, the minimizing liability is also very important. See, once you go with the minimizing the minimum level of the usage of the resources, whatever the maximum approaches or assets are available, but what exactly the impact implication is reducing risk also. The information security, especially which are go in an experienced manner, must consist of understand the current legal environment. See, we are all students. In the sense of you have to be restrict such a way that how we can understand what are all the conventions or the procedures or the legal level of environment in and around. Once we are coming out from the home, What are all the rules? If you are going by a two-wheeler road, if you are going by a four-wheeler road, if you are going by a walk, we should not walk in the center of the road, correct? No, there should be certain, you have to take a risk. Similarly, if you saw something goes wrong while walking, while talking, go, what are all the issues are there? How? The name we can call FIR, fact information report, correct now, which are going to be how there should be law for everything. You can go with a talk and walk for all sort of flow. There should be a legal opinion and the certain culture. Stay current with laws and regulation. See, our life is like that only. Even same as it is. For a simple analogy, how the civilized life is going to be considered as part of the standard laws and the regulation, same as it is for the professional life also. You have to follow certain laws and regulation. Watch for new issues and the emerge, correct? No, you have to be keep on watch. So person is coming and attacking you, person is coming and hacking you. Oh, you have to be understand, he is a civilized person, he is a person who is going to be damage whole environment, like that way. For everything there should be a legal issues and the legal information. But what we can understand law and ethics in information security, rules that mandate or prohibit certain societal behavior, correct? No, which you say not against any sort of a culture related or a nature related, not going to be damage any sort of an attitude of a society and social level of a life living activities. That it says a laws rules you have to make formulate. These are the procedure of standard procedure, how we can make compulsory follow compulsory information. Suppose if we are going to be admit for a specific a project in an MNC, then you have to go with like a take a corresponding legal proform through the chairman. You have to be identify yourself only being a student or a candidate of the Mangalore University, which are a mandate. Otherwise, who will be identify and recognize you are a person coming and asking some sort of a project in a MNC. And these are all some sort of a laws and the rules and compulsory mandate in the sense very needy without that one, and which are going to be profit certain societal, mean to say once we are making any sort of a laws and the regulation which are going to be meant and needy, and also which are going to be affect and follow certain social life also, activities also, attitude also. Similar fashion, ethics define socially acceptable behavior. See, God given a flow to talk about, correct? No. Similarly, you have to be make sure such a way that while talking, especially in the conference, or especially in the video conferencing, one-to-one conferencing, interactive level. See, if you ask some sort of a question, so you have to go in a some standard level of a procedure. Behaviorness, you have to be listen very carefully what the deliberation which are going to be take place from the resource person. No? A define socially acceptable behavior. If all are talking, what level we can understand that some sort of ethic you have to follow. That means to say life of how the respected ladies are living on this great floor. Respected man level is going to be live on this great floor. Correct? No, one to one. There should be a ethical behavior or attitude which are concise, same as it is, as like in case of a society, for the state of an information of the information security also, ethics are very important. Cultural mores, that mean to say laws is basically which are ruling information flow, and a documentary evidence. Ethics once again which are to be understand behave like a personality, and they have to say, oh, he is highly educated person, he completed master of science, master of computer applications. You have to correct, no, how they used to be salute and applause your gesture and the posture, those are all very ethical. Fixed moral attitude, and moral attitudes are customs of a particular group, ethics based on this. That means to say See, if you have a team who are all going to be work out, joining an authority and say, we are all come from so and so, we are organizing some program, but how that level of a behavior which are going to be our expectation, there should be certain procedure. That means to say how a laws and the ethics and the cultural laws carry sanction of a governing authority, ethics do not. That means to say where whatever the rules which are going to be formulated as for the norms of the government authority, governing authority. We have like honorable vice chancellor, beloved registrar, we have a statutory bodies like correct no finance officer, similarly registrar, evaluation controller. See which are go whatever the task we have to be do according to the responsibility, according to their key roles, which are once again under the authority, under the regulations of the governing body. That means to say a governor, then followed by higher education authority, then followed by university chancellor. Correct? These are the laws which are going to be already regulated. But ethics do not. Ethics, what it says, I am a person, faculty, how to behave in the society, how to behave in the family, how to behave in front of the show. Correct? No, these are no specific governing. Correct? No, you have to be behave same as it is, which holds good for the information security also. See, organization especially, what it mean to say is, if you look at like a liability and the need for, is it required? Legal obligation of an entity extending behind criminal or contract law includes legal obligation to make restitution. That means to say, whatever the laws which are going to be obligate, extending some sort of a criminal which are going to be posture for the contract of a law, which includes very, very standard level of a procedure of an obligation, makes such a way that you have to follow certain resolution. Restitution, what it says, compensate for wrongs committed by an organization or its employee. See what will happen? We are like a faculty and we have to do teaching, you have to do research, you have to support to the students for coming up. Other than that one, you are doing business like a business. Uh, Other than like a teaching, other than the research, other than supporting the student, which are comes under out of that, correct? No, the obligations. You can say to compensate for wrongs committed by an organization or its employees. We are all meant for what the purpose and what is my key role, what is my self appraisal to formulate under the authority of the government. You have to do that one. If you are doing again, that automatically takes different wrongs message. Due care, ensuring that the employees know what level of the procedures are acceptable behavior, know the consequences are illegal and unethical. Even though you know, correct, no, today you are finding various type of a flow of an information illegally, they are like a stars movies. They are like a star, like a serial regular, what we are seeing in media, correct? Now, finding out different type of a misbehavior, drugs, what you have come across very clearly. How the media is focusing, even though they are human beings only, but how they are actively involving, even though their life are same as it like a normal person, but illegally, unethically action which are going to be provided. These are all educate. Due diligence, making a valid effort to protect others. See, even though we are doing a wrong information which are affect to the others also, don't care about that one, correct? No, you say everything is okay from my side, I have a full influence. Continually maintaining a level of effort. Can we say that one? Nobody is stand in front of me, I can do whatever it may be. These are all due diligence, making a valid effort to protect others. That means to see, even though we are in a position to do a wrong flow and the wrong way of the behaving, which are going to be protect, correct? No, we can say, we can make some sort of counseling. Then there should be a law is there. We can call it a jurisdiction. Courts right to hear a case if the wrong was committed in its territory or involve its citizens. Correct? No, it will say, okay, or it may be the person X, Y, or president, prime minister, normal man, who is a businessman. If he goes against the laws and the regulation, he comes under jurisdiction. We can say laws, court, high court, supreme court. What are the different level? Correct? No, we can easily for and the against. Who are all there? How, which are going to be defined, described against the laws and the regulation. Then finally, long arm jurisdiction, right of any court to impose its authority over an individual organization if it can establish. Correct? Now today you might be come across various type of an issues normal life. Correct? No, take, I'll give an example like Ayodhya issue, which were initiated long back. Now you see, last year everything solved because of in which way it are going to be. They used to refer the evidence, they used to refer most of the flow of an same as it is in security related. If these are the things were happen, where exactly the evidence correcting, collecting, and how they used to be find out. Is it through biometric? Is it through the data we stored on the particular old storage devices? So, is it possible to extract? Is it we can get through DNA analysis? Correct. Now today you can observe easily how the changes were happening day in day out. That means it's a long arm journey. Even though finally truth has to be arrived and trust with the level of the ethics and also myths and also the laws. These are very important. And what are all the policy versus law? See, we mentioned very clearly there should be a policy go according that one. Being a teacher, you have to teach first priority. Body of expectation that describe the acceptable and unacceptable employee behavior in the workplace. Correct? Now you say, see, you have to come with a neat forum and say that one, you are a teacher. What is the message is supposed to be take to the society? Correct? No, come as like without any clear way of the presentation. No, without preparation. No, without posture. Without correct. No, these are all some level of policies. Even though today you are finding like a online, offline, whatever it may be, you have to be present such a way that within a time domain, what is your idea and how you are going to be. Is it you have to be justified for taking a salary? That is a policy. That means to say body of expectation that describe you are going to be acceptable or unacceptable, behaving a professional in any of the working place environment. Being if something goes wrong and insecurity to the organization and some intruder going to be enter and your responsibility is more and how which were happened to is a system priority and you have to give how best way you are going to be find the solution for that one. Policies function as laws within an organization. What will happen? Something goes wrong, might be come across various other ragging, whatever it may be. Something goes wrong to the particular my dear student. Then what way? There should be a committee within the policy, and then automatically that particular report is going to the respective authority. These are way how the policy function as laws within an organization must be crafted carefully to ensure they are complete, appropriate, fairly applied to everyone. See whatever the laws which are going to be applicable, including a normal man to the president. There no change at it. That's why the policy function should be old school, not only within the organization, must be holds for a layman to the president of a country. That is it. And difference between policy and a law, ignorance of a policy is an acceptable defense. Correct? No, you say that one. Negligence. We are not in a position to follow certain rules and the regulation of the policy. Then there should be law say, oh, if so, this is an FIR. Oh, who are all the members were present? Oh, what are all the evidence? So how long is going to be take? The evidence from the hardcore, evidence from the softcore, evidence from the user level, which are entirely different. That's why only judicial, it will take a long time. Criteria for policy enforcement too. Dissemination, distribution, correct, no, flooding of the flow, review, reading, comprehensive understanding, compliance, agreement. See, the words are very buzzwords in case of policy. See how the distribution of a criteria which are goes from the protocol higher level to the low level law? Is it which are going to be readable law in a language like a mother tongue or any language? If so, which are not going to be percolate, then you have to convert and then you have to transfer to the understanding manner and make it very clearly in a comprehensive manner. Comprehensive in the sense highly reliable fashion, understanding. Then there should be an agreement. You have to make an agreement such a way that this is going to be my self, authority, authenticated, compliance. That means you understand dissemination is a distribution, a review is nothing but a reading, comprehensive, that means to say how the understanding, reliability, and finally agreement, and even though uniformity. What are the types of a law which are there in information security? So we told very clearly in a society, in a spread level of a distribution, understanding flow, then how the govern nation or a state. That means to say if you take a boundary regional space, so based on the population, no, based on the in which way the people are living, go, and which is going to be managed by governance authority. We can say governs nation or state, manages relationships, conflict between organization, entities, and the people. See, there should be a various other way of finding a difference between one to another. See, if we are within the regional space, so middle class families, so low class families, so they don't have a food and shelter, oh, they have a star level of a people, correct? No, high level layer of the people, correct? No, you can make which are the common level of a policy we can make. This is civil, correct? No, that means to say for living, a basic fundamental essential factors are very essentially required for living being a civilization. Criminal addresses violation harmful to society. See, I'm teaching, I'm not taking class, then automatically there's a criminal. A criminal imposing a violation of harmful to the society. That means to say, today I'm not taking go, tomorrow I'm not taking go. Because what purpose you are coming, you are paying the fee to the institution. Your parents are sending for your higher education. Your parents are sending for your job, correct? No, purpose. Parents are sending for your future life. Then you are misusing that one, correct? No, that indicates a criminal. Addresses violation harmful to the society, actively enforced by the state, correct? Now you say that one, whatever the state of an information which are against what the activities are going, we can call it as criminal. Private regulates relationship between individuals and the organization. There should be, correct? No, a standard level of a procedure which are going to be percolate, which are going to be formulated from a user of X, user of Y, user of Z, then finally can say the organization. We can call it as private. Various types of LR. Similarly, public regulates structure, administration of government agencies and the relations with citizens, employees. And see, today you take an example for a voting. Voting is a public policy, correct? No, there is nobody can't. You have to go according. You have to go with like a standard level of ethical myths. Standard. You have to with the proper identification. No, proper level of confidentiality, proper level of integrity, correct? No, which are all comes to a matter. That means to say how the procedure of a structure or in order to make an administration admire of a government at different level, third party organization or public sectors are there, or vendors who are all there, third parties, correct? No, there should be relationship between a government authority, a government agencies, and who are all the citizens of a country, who are all the employees of the organization. We can say other government agencies, other than government agencies. If you say you have like a quasi government, you have like a state government, you have like a central government, who are all comes at different. And what are all the, if you look at, these are the laws are comes from the overseas also. United States has been a leader in the development and implement inform legislation, correct? No, they have their own rules and regulation formulation. Today, something goes wrong, correct? No, how they used to be attacked, how they used to be arrest a person who done harmful, doing an harmful to the society, to the industry of the insecure flow. Implementation of information security legislation contribute to a more reliable business environment and a stable economy. What it means to say is, see, once we are going for making use of resources, the resources are for the application. From the application of the resources, you have to be think about how we can generate a money, stable economy. But like that way, some of the European level of and similarly US policies are entirely different. US and the China censorship, some of the policy which are going to be an overlay overseas. Specified penalties for individuals and organizations failing to follow certain requirements, and they used to be set forth according to their laws, according to their regulation, according to their statements. A general computer crime laws, especially today, Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 1986. What it means to say, if something goes wrong, we have a hard disk, you have a peripheral, so you have a logical devices. So if you are making, those are the contribution, those are the invention, those are the inspiration, those are the motivation of the respective a person who struggle a lot. But we go according to that one. No, this one is a totally bad, not according to the my expectation. No, which are duplicated, which are malfunction. No, then which go according that one is called computer. Based on if something goes wrong on the hardware devices, so communication devices, so telecommunication devices. So there should be an act, what it says called Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, which were initiated, which were taken authority during 1986. Then National Information Infrastructure Protection Act. That means to say how the protection and how the prevention, how the privacy which are going to be manageable in within the country, within the regional space, which were initiated during year 1996. And Patriot Act of US government 2001. Similarly, improvement still further revising, which were happened during 2001. Then further reauthorization act were happened from the 2001 later also. Then today, the society. See, I'll give an example. Today, you have Computer Society of India, IEEE Institute of Electrical Electronics Engineers chapter. So, IST in Institute of Science and Technological Association, correct? Various other body, but they have their own rules and regulation. Same as it is, in order to manage, you have to go. If something goes wrong, stealing data, somebody is taking a system, somebody is taking a router, somebody is taking, correct? No, disconnect a cable media, Wi-Fi, WiMAX. So we can go according to the certain procedure. Laws were depicted clearly with respect to computing security during the year 1987. And the privacy aspects. See, once you say one of the are very essentially, you have to be find out new ideas in information security is a privacy. It is a state of being free from unsanctioned intrusion. That means what it means to say is any level of sanctioning against the rule, against the steal of an exchange of the flow, against the malfunction. No, then we can find out what way we can identify, recognize, assess the privacy, ability to aggregate data from multiple resources. That means to say you have to be come across, see, we because of a pandemic COVID 2019, we are not in a position to stop our day in day out life. We are, as usual, our life is going, and still you are waiting for when the vaccine is coming. But we need not bother about that one. We have to identify how we can enrich our life with respect to improve a knowledge, with respect to develop our cultivation. We have a multiple resources, allows creation of information database. Same as it is it possible to find out, identify, enhance a various type of information database which are over and above available From that, how we can just upgrade, and also new ideas how we can get from the other end. We can call it a privacy. Similarly, privacy of customer information. If you say person who is involving in order to maintain a security, we can call privacy of customer in section of the common carrier regulation. See, these are all the laws, these are all the policy. If you say there should be a generic organization and a generic body who are all going to be take care the privacy of the customer information section flow. Similarly, Federal Policy Act of 1974. It's a group of a today we have a president, we have a great respected excellence of presidents, vice president too, then great prime minister and who are all the authority of the members, member of parliament. Correct? No, you see that one. Similarly, one country to other country have their privacy act, which were initiated, federal 1974. Similarly, for Electronic Communication Privacy Act of 1986, because one to another, which are all part of any sort of information flow which are going to be take place, then Electronic Communication Privacy Act 1980, health insurance portability and accountability. See, we can't say even though everything you have a good asset, you have a good property, you have everything, but how we can manage our health? In order to manage our health, then you say that one, how the health insurance portability accountability. You can go for something goes wrong. I did not make anything to my family. Then is it possible to they can easily survive young, my children, correct? No. For that, there is an accountability of the act which were initiated called 1996 during. We can call it a HIPAA. That means to say health insurance portability accountability. Then later, financial services modernization and reliability. These are all the information what I would like to discuss with you today. Identity theft, and I would like to give all the information tomorrow. Identity theft to export and the loss of the information, no, US copyright law and financial reporting flow, and what are the Federal Information Act, which are Digital Millennium Copyright Act. These are the information I used to give next class, and that means to say I used to be end with all the information today. I given what are the state and the information flow of the understand ourselves, go one by one. We can see which are very essentially required privacy and the relevant laws and typical laws, what are the policy matter. This ends up today the class laws and ethics of the information security and how which are very essentially required in addition to our day-to-day life, which are going to be a formulate. If you have any questions, you can ask me tomorrow. We'll get back to you. Same